What's up with the sponsor, man? I've been asking you for like 2 years now. I'm gonna switch to Zoa or Zoea, whatever it's called. All right, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't base anything I say out these videos. I'm doing it for pure entertainment purposes only. One thing's for certain, we know. One thing's for certain with these meme stocks, AMC, GME basket, they go up, they go down, just like anything else in the market, but like times 10. The volatility on these is much more insane. Obviously, we're seeing a downward movement. You know, if you believe that it's all natural, then that's cool. You can believe what you want to believe. Me, I believe that there's probably something funky going on in the background, but who knows? Could be wrong. I will say this though. I kind of was thinking about how Roaring Kitty showed his position. Right, he's holding like a shit ton basically. And the call options at 21 expire June 21st, right? Is that what it was? Something like that. Anyways, you get the gist of it. So if you're on the other side, and you know this dude who has had movies made about him, and people rally, if you have the ability to move the stock down and try to get out of it, what do you think they're going to do? They're trying to get out of it, in my opinion. Now, is it all the way possible? I don't know, because there's these things. There's many factors that go into this. I think if you've been here long enough, one of the biggest factors is, if you're a retail trader buying your shares on certain brokers, which I'm guilty of. I have Robinhood, and because after a while I started thinking I don't really think any of these brokers really, they do what they want. I don't use my Robinhood as often. I use it occasionally. It is user friendly, but it's also you kind of feel like ashamed to talk about it. Like I bought on Robinhood, and so I really don't try to use it as often. Every once in a while I do though. It is what it is. But you got Fidelity, you've got Public, you've got other ones that there's ways you can go. You have to go on your computer with Fidelity and route it to make sure it goes to the New York Stock Exchange instead of through a PFOF, things like that. But I don't really know if it affects anything. I think that it's kind of a hard one to determine because it should go straight to there. But if big if people on these higher end CEOs and board members and corporate dudes, if they know each other, they can talk to each other and say do what they want. And you know what, that's just all speculation. But what I'm trying to say is if you have the ability to buy on PFOF, non PFOF, it's probably best. But it is what it is. People are buying anywhere, everywhere. And I do believe, even though, like, if you do buy shares on some of these brokers like Robinhood or whatever, which I'm guilty of as well, I believe at some point or another they do have to release the buy order at some point. So, it is what it is. But yeah, definitely, if you think of it, if you're on the other side of this and you are shorting this stock and you have all this money and you're annoyed by all these freaking smooth brain apes buying and you have the ability to push the price down, I think that's what I would do if I was in that side, in that position, which I'm not, obviously. But what's up, V Games? Yeah, I think I talked about AMC having a pump. It's going the wrong way. It's going the other way. So obviously, if it's going the opposite of what I thought it may go, but I mean anything we guess, I guess, on these stocks is about a 50-50 chance, right? I still think that it's got a possibility today, tomorrow to jump to that upside, but at the same token, it could just be the old tactic, just drop it down and see if people panic sell. But what happens is you've got people like me that are too smooth brained to sell, that are going to keep buying the AMC shares, they're going to keep buying GME shares, and if I average up or average down at this point, it's to me it's more on principle. I'm just buying on a daily basis because I can see what the potential movements of these things are. And one of these days you get so many shares and it has a jump up like that, then yeah, you can be one of those dudes that sells 100 shares and pulls some profit and then wait 30 days so you don't get the wash sell rule and then you can buy more. It's obviously I'm not a financial advisor, but yeah, grind gang says we've been here too long to give up. Exactly. There's no. I mean, I have bills that come up that I'm like scrounging. How am I going to cover this? How am I going to do that? And literally every time AMC or GME shares, that's out of the question. Um, it would have to be some pretty heavy shit going on for me to pull those, just because I know what the potential is. And I would just hate to be that dude that sold and then all of a sudden like I could just imagine selling my shares and then like the next day or something it's like boom, oh my god, we're finally in the MOAS, and then he'd be at the outside window looking in like, what's it like in there, fellas? What's it like in there, fellas? What's it feel like? So, and like I've said before, everything I've invested into this is something I'm willing to lose. So that's also, I think I sound like a robot. I'm on repeat with that. Never invest more than you're willing to lose, because that's when it gets stressful. You keep if you invest more than you're willing to lose, that's when it gets stressful. I've done that before with other shares or stocks. And I'm like, I'm gonna do this real quick, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But you don't want to put that stress on yourself. There's enough stresses going on in the world and your personal life already. So, um, not try not to add to it, I guess. um, so that's just kind of where I'm at today. It's just the same thing every day. AMC has always been buy and hold for me. GME, like I said recently, just after Roaring Kitty and all this, it kind of opened my eyes up a little bit to realize that what, I'm gonna buy and hold that too, because why not? There's a lot of if you do your own DD on it, you can see. I've done a lot of research on GameStop, a lot of DD, a lot of just looking at charts and realizing the AMC and GME are the same. They're pretty much the same. Obviously, you got uh, different CEOs, different sort of kind of different fundamentals. AMC's in debt, but I do believe AMC is paying the debt. So I look at it this way: GME is a little more free than AMC is, but AMC is cheaper, and I have the faith and belief that they're working their way down. I think they're going to wiggle their way out of debt. I think they're going to be. I look at it this way: even if AMC were to never have a squeeze or any of that potential, I feel like fundamentally, in the next year, 2, 3, they should be much more um, in a better place than they are now. So, if the company's in a better place, it puts the stock price in a better place, generally speaking, in my opinion. Not financial advice, just saying. Table rock guy, yo, it's lunch break. Ah, yeah, what you eating? I'm hungry as a hostage. Hold on, real quick. I got customers coming in. Hold on. Hey, how's it going? You still there? Ah! What's up, man? All right, I had a customer. Thanks. Yeah, that's where we're headed, right? Nothing subliminal. I just dropped my phone because I had a customer. Had to make some money real quick. What do you think of AMC and GME merger? I really don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's happening. It would be a cool story, can you imagine? But I just don't. I haven't read anything that would lead me to believe that. I believe GME. I believe Ryan Cohen. He has his own thing going. It's flowing like a boat. It's rowing, and he's already knowing where the wind is blowing. So there's no card showing. You know, Lindsay Lohan, stitching and sewing. I'm just making shit up now. I believe I believe the CEO for GameStop has his own thing. I think he kind of probably wants to stay independently on his own. I don't think a merger, for me personally, I don't think so. I mean, it would be dope. Can you imagine? The internet would break. Apes' faces would melt, like, especially the GME elitists. They'd be like, "Oh my god," they would lose their shit. But I just don't see that in the cards. Two totally separate, different companies. The only thing they have in common is they were saved by retail investors in the pandemic, in my opinion. So, would it be cool? Yes. I thought there was like lint in my beard, but just the way the sun's shining, man. Getting red and gray right there, man. Anyways, so I get sidetracked so easy, man. But yeah, I don't think that's a possibility, but who knows? Anything's possible, right? Anything could happen. I think AMC, like I said, I just can't imagine GME, since they have no debt, they're accumulating money. I can't imagine they'd want to buy into a company that has the debt that AMC has. From an outsider's perspective, if you haven't done your DD, AMC looks like shit. Just being brutally honest. That's why I think so many people that haven't done the DD don't know what's going on as far as the background and the shorting and the, how bad they were off. When they look into it, it's like, oh hell no, it looks bad. But when you do your DD, you realize that they are paying debt. They paid like almost $1 billion worth of debt in the last year and a half or something like that. All these things, fact check me, but you can look into it yourself. They're doing things. They're creating other tentacles to make money. It's like an octopus. It's got all these tentacles. You got the popcorn. You got the credit card. You got the candy. You got the snacks. Shutting down buildings that aren't producing. You've got credit cards. I don't know if I said that already. I might have. working on alcohol, whoever distributing movies, like whatever else they got going on in the background. On top of the fact that I think movies are barely starting to come back. After the pandemic, it was grim for movies. I mean, even where I live, there's not an AMC. I have to drive a ways down to get to one, and we do go to it occasionally. But I've been to my local theater here and just seen like there's no movies. Like you want to go to a movie now, they're starting to sprinkle them in. You know what I mean? And just recently, it's a little bigger sprinkle coming in. So more movies equal more revenue. More revenue equals just better business, right? So that's what I think about it. But I do think that from an outsider's perspective, I can understand why if you don't do your DD and didn't know what was going on and you just looked at AMC, you're like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. But for me, I see how many people are buying, how much I'm buying. Um, you know, it's the same story as GME, really. If you've done your homework on GME, it's very similar as far as what's going on behind the scenes of shorting and markets and blah blah blah. It's all similar. But when you look at the business aspect of it, it's different. They're running in different directions, but in the same direction all at once. I believe they're both headed to more success and longevity, but in different routes. AMC, in my opinion, it'll definitely bounce back. In my opinion. But I've said this for a long time. If you watch my channel, the boring area where they want you to be at is from like that 4 to 5, maybe 6 once in a while. Get crazy, bounce up to 10, 11, 12, and then bounce back down. It's just how it works, man. The algo has it in this little region where I could see how it could want like depress people, maybe not really depressed. I don't get depressed over this type of stuff, but other people, I can understand how it might, kind of deter them. Like, oh my God, it's never going to happen. But that's what, if you've done enough DD and do your own research on this, don't take my word for it, but I do have seen that people that are shorting or running markets and stuff like that do employ psychological, whatever, people that work on the psychological brain. We're too smooth brained. I can't even say it, but you know what I mean. So they study the human brain. You know what I mean? They're gonna know what's gonna make you happy, what's gonna make you sad, what's gonna make you like bummed out. I want to get out of this plane. Oh God, I want out of this plane. Shit like that. So what do I think Roaring Kitty will do? I have no idea. I think the dude's a genius. He holds all sorts of, the thing is he comes online and everyone's like, oh, what an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. But the dude actually has tons of knowledge and education, and he's smarter than I am for sure when it comes to the market. So I don't think he's just some idiot that's just out there. I don't think he came back for no reason. You know what I mean? Why hasn't he exercised? I don't know. Maybe just likes being out of shape. Doesn't. Sorry. Why haven't I exercised? I missed the gym the last 11 years. I think the thing is I don't know. I couldn't say why he hasn't exercised his options. I mean, here's the thing is this is just a theory, and it's not necessarily my theory, just what I've heard people say. Oh, hold on, just 1 second. Hello. Good. How are you? Good. Bring y'all with me to the customers real quick. The battery's low. Yeah. Everything I have is what we have out right now. Okay. So shoes, we're not really ordering or getting them in as much. So everything's kind of low and slim pickings, I think. Yeah, they're Skechers. Skechers. Yeah, they're kind of like that. Sir? Oh, he's right here. How are you doing? Yes, sir. Okay, well, I don't think there's something to match my size. Yeah. That's Basketball, is that what you said? Yeah, basketball.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Probably shoe department's your best bet.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good day.
Bye, have a good day.
Bye. All right. All right. I left you guys hanging, huh? Sorry, I had customers. So there was the theory going around that perhaps he was planning on making the video. Maybe GameStop Ryan Cohen had a diluted. Well, that is the thing. They did dilute. And maybe he didn't know it was going to dilute, and he came out and he was planning on exercising his calls. But when the dilution came, he just came out and was like, well, shit, I'm just going to talk. You know, who knows? He can't really talk to me. Just there, but. And that's the other thing, too, is I don't know how to pronounce your name. Glenn? I think he knows the offering. This is what he says. I think he knows the offering has been done, and it will raise the price once announced, and I'm sure Ryan has a plan for the money. Cash hand, $4 to $5 billion. And that's the thing, is that's the other thing. A lot of people talk about dilution like it's this horrible thing. Like, oh my God, they screwed us. They diluted to screw us. But really, if you were invested into a company, you want the company to succeed. Dilution brings money to the company, brings more shares, which in the long term brings more money. You have to be patient, and you have to trust the board and CEO. I don't think you can invest in a company and be comfortable if you don't trust the board and CEO. So if you're invested in GameStop or AMC and you don't trust the CEOs or the board or the company, anything that happens that doesn't make you rich immediately or make the stock price go up immediately, your brain's already going to be like, oh, they're screwing us over. They're rich millionaires. They're already rich, and I'm getting nothing. And you start feeling bad about yourself, and and you go online and start making a channel about how they screwed us and why did they do that to us and that type of shit. And I mean, we're grown men. Stop whining. Sorry, getting out of control here. Anyways. Got to order a lot of Caitlin Clark jerseys. Yes, I agree. But here's the issue. I can't get jerseys very easily. Jerseys are tricky, man. They're fucking expensive, too. People don't want to be spending money on them, especially where I'm at. Yeah, if I had Caitlin Clark jerseys, I would definitely sell them to you. But I don't have them. I'm sorry. But maybe I'll look into getting some. See if I can find some. So, also, when it rains, it pours type shit, you know. I'm in this shop right now. It's hot as shit. My air conditioner broke. So I'm waiting on a repairman to come. You know how that is. Like, we'll be here in an hour. And then they call you on another hour. But we had our air conditioner in our car break. They fixed it. $1,500. The dude's like, yeah, I fixed it, but something else is wrong now. Fucking mechanic. No, he's like, it's going to be another $1,000. Okay, we get that going. Then all of a sudden I come to my shop. My air conditioner breaks here. And in Idaho, it's only hot like 2 months out of the year. But that's when it would break. So, it's so hot, I'm stressed out, I gotta buy more! Sorry, I got off track again. Plus you have FTD cycle, swap cycle, Kitty knew this. Yeah, I think the thing is like you're saying, that theory this sounds very, there's a lot of different ways to look at it, but I in generally speaking, I think that Roaring Kitty is smart as hell. I don't think he came back for no reason. And, you know, that's it. I think he's smart. I think he knows what he's doing. I don't think that, you know, he's sitting there doing a live stream, and in his screen behind him, he's losing hundreds of millions, like $100, $200 million, $1 million, whatever the case is, and just chilling, like laughing, like, oh, doing the Roaring Kitty laugh, like, the stream is so fast. Just chilling, you know what I mean? So that comfort he has lets you know that, all right, man, you know. I think if you've been in this play long enough, you yes, it sucks that it's going day to day and it's dragging on, and we've had so many catalysts. I'm not talking about just GME, I'm talking about AMC, but there's been so many things that should have made it rocket, and they've played it, and they've done it, they've done this. I think you realize that, hey, man, I'm going to keep buying, I'm going to keep holding. That's what I'm doing. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold, but what it is eventually something's going to give. Something's going to cause. And we've seen it a couple times already where it's rocketed and then they've kind of capped it. Even on that sneeze, squeeze, whatever you want to call it, in 2021, they had to take the buy button. There's so much that points for retail, points to the direction of up and good, that I don't understand why people get so stressed. It's not going to happen overnight. We're talking life-changing money. We're talking money that will shut down hedge funds that have worked decades and their dad's business and their dad's business, and everything could come crumbling down to a bunch of idiots like us. They don't want that to happen. They're doing anything and everything possible at one time or another. It's at one point or another, it's going to happen, in my opinion. No guarantees. Battery's dying. I guess I'm out. Battery's dying. I'm back. I don't know what happened. My battery, well, I do know what happened. I don't know why I said I don't know what happened. My battery died, but my charger ain't working right. So I got a new little charger base. Let's see if this works. Let's see what happens. So where were we? How do I think? Go back to these questions. See if y'all still here. How do I think shorts are going to get out of this? How? I don't think they can get out of it. I think they can. The only thing they can do is spread FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt, get people to try to sell, and that's the only thing they can do, other than hope that the company just goes down. Which obviously AMC, GME have been working on going up. So, and they got too much sentiment, too many retail, too many apes behind it, man. I think for it to continue to go down, in my opinion. They can probably play this game for a while. Obviously, we'd hope the cat system would help. We'd hope there's always something we hope would help. You know, this can do it. This can do it. This is going to be the catalyst. Eventually, something, in my opinion, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know if I need to reiterate that, but I think at some point, in my humble, non-professional trading opinion, something will make this thing explode. What's done in the dark always comes to light. My entire life I've felt that, you know. Fractal's gonna fractal for sure. Yes. So battery died. I don't know. It never went turned off. So as soon as I turned my phone back on, it said, "Well, I want to resume." So I just hit resume. Here we are. I'm on this charger. It's not charging correctly, so I may have to jump off. It's holding the charge at 4%. I don't know. My charger's shorting out. I've had this thing for a minute, man. I'm pretty sure this is giving out on me. But yeah, I just want to jump back in, and I was actually going to just try to make a new live, but it gave me the option to resume this one. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. I mean, yeah, someone said AMC runs with GME both in the same ETF. That's the thing, is they both run the same. It's if you can just, you know, I guess conspiracy theory it, like I do. It just seems like it's on an algorithm. They run the same algorithm every once in a while. Once in a while they'll kind of separate, but they always kind of meet back up at some point. And that's just how it's going to be until it's not. But you know, the other thing is if they do run on the same algo, I can't talk, algorithm. If they run on the same algo, they're gonna, if they squeeze at the same time, which I think would probably on their end, whoever's controlling, if they are controlling any of this, would make sense, because you wouldn't want one to squeeze and then everyone takes their profits and jumps into the next one and that one squeezes. So I'd imagine if there is another run up or a squeeze, they might go at the same time. And that's also why I want to hold both, because the more the merrier. So that's where I'm at. There has been a lot of run-ups. Nothing, in my opinion, has been a moass, not even close. There's been a lot of run-ups. So it kind of gets in your head once in a while where you're thinking, well, next run-up, maybe I should just pull some profit. The reason I don't do that is because one of these run-ups, in my opinion, it's not going to be able to get driven back down. Right now, it is. They're driving it down. Or the other factor is if you have so many shares that when it has a run-up and you can pull enough profits to make yourself some money to take care of your family and still have shares for a MOAS, and then you even have the option of buying back in after the 30-day wash sale, not financial advice, just saying, then that's an option for you too. But for me, my personal opinion, what I am doing for myself is just buying and holding, loading the boat, loading up. until I feel like I want to stop. And haven't been able to stop myself for a while, for a long while. AMC I used to buy, like once a week, once every other day. But now at this point, I literally buy every day, even if it's literally like a share a day. Um, there's rarely a day. There is a day here and there where I won't buy somewhere. It's just, either have something else going on or you're just like, gotta wait for it to drop or you're investing in something else. But um, pretty much every day. And now it's the same thing with GME. GME's price is up there. So AMC, it's easy to buy a share or two a day. With GME, I'm buying, half a share a day, whatever I can afford. Whatever I'm willing to afford to lose. That's the key to it all. That way I'm not stressed out if it goes down or whatever, So it is what it is. That's how I'm doing it. And I've heard other people say that's how they do it as well. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like an uncommon thing. Like I said, I'll skip my morning coffee, and which we used to get every day. And, that's about $9 for a fucking coffee. You know what I mean? And then morning breakfast, I'd never made breakfast for myself. Literally every day I would go out and get breakfast somewhere, breakfast burrito, something like that. And in the long term, I'm not as bloated all day, so I'm buying shares and getting less bloated. So, but that's how I look at it, like that. Obviously I put a little more in than a breakfast burrito and a coffee would cost, but so that way I'm not stressed about it. It literally, people go out and buy a coffee and they piss it out, they buy a breakfast burrito and digest it, and you know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. You don't go back at the end of the year and say, all right, let me see how much I spent on fast food and calculate it. Some of you might, I don't. And then say, oh my God, I lost $20,000 on fast food. You don't think of it that way. So that's where I'm putting my brain. It works for me, might not work for you, but that's how I'm doing it. So that way it doesn't stress me out. It's just part of my daily routine. You got to eat to survive. I gotta buy shares to survive. And it's just because it's worth the risk to me. Risk reward, you got to weigh it out. For me, the risk and reward factor is worth it for me. Might not be for you. Anyway, that's just, I think we've said what we can say, man. I'm gonna probably jump off and actually buy some more right now because I just had online sell, a good online sell dipped in. So that's the thing, is when people buy something online and leave me a tip, that tip is going straight in. I just got an $80 tip. So thank you, Miss Jackson from Alabama, on my ordered a hat and left me an $80 tip. That's dope. So $80 going back into the market right now. Nah, maybe 60. Keep 20 for the pocket. You know what I mean? Anyone got any questions before I jump up out of here so I can give you a half-assed answer? Trying to look back, see if I missed anything here. Well, I guess that does it then. I'm going to jump out. Like I said, probably grab a couple more shares. See what the market's doing. Maybe I can find a couple other little things to jump in and out of, make a few extra bucks. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you guys all get rich soon. Be blessed. Peace.